I'm Catherine Goshen, a professional astrologer from the village of Nyack in New York State, and I'm passionate about in-depth astrology and getting to the heart of the matter. In this video, I'd like to talk about each of the 12 moon signs and how you will be given an opportunity for emotional growth over the next 6 months or so, from August 2020 to January of 2021. Do you know your moon sign? If you don't, you can draw up your chart on astro.com, or you can email me and I will let you know. Please feel free to do this. So the moon in the natal chart represents our deepest instincts and habits. It also represents what happens at home. And so often when our moon is deeply activated, there can be some kind of a domestic crisis and emotions can come to the fore, and there's a kind of a clearing that takes place. So when we are looking at transits to the moon, which is how this video will be created, we have to always remember that all transits, in other words, the current movements of the planets, will affect each of us differently, because the astrological influences are subject to global events, to environmental events, and also to our own personal circumstances. And of course, remember that we have more than just a moon in our chart. So while this video will focus on that, you will also have other things going on in your life that create an influence and then determine just how much or how little the current astrological factors will impact on your moon or your habits or emotional response. The other thing I always like to bring to the fore is that there are other more subtle influences that are working within the body and within our lives that we don't even understand or realize. This could be our personal genetic makeup, or even more subtle energies which will play a role on how astrological factors affect our chart. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's begin with the moon in Aries. Moon in Aries, your key emotional need is to shine and to be a key player in whatever situation you find yourself in. Now, from August to December of 2020, you're going to have a lot of opportunities for this wish to shine and be a leader, be the hero of your own family or your own workplace to come to the fore. So be aware of these opportunities and use them. You might feel a tremendous emotional confidence coming through in your life. And I hope that you can utilize this and step up into a number one position, so that by the time 2021 starts, you've actually managed to get into a situation where you are a key player in your own life. The other thing that is pertinent to your emotional development, moon in Aries, is that you may be suffering from a little bit of worry or anxiety about current circumstances. And, excuse me, And the astrological indication here is that it's a good time to sit tight with that, and not rush off to greener pastures. So hang in there for the next 6 months and try to also work on your diplomacy at home. This is going to smooth the 6-month period and lessen the worry and anxiety, and make this emotional confidence be able to blossom. So best of luck with that, Moon in Aries. Moon in Taurus. Your emotional need is to keep things stable and to establish a kind of security that makes you feel safe, because things may have been a little bit chaotic in the past, and now you like to feel secure, knowing that emotional chaos is definitely not your preferred mode of action. And over the last year or two, a lot of fresh energy has come in to break up patterns from the past, which may have calcified and left you very resistant to things. Now fresh energy is flooding in. You can expect it to continue for many years to come, so that you are able to create healthy new emotional responses to behavior. And I love the way that there is this opportunity for this real emotional blossoming. Now the next 6 months for you, August to January 2021, August 2020 to January 2021, you're going to come across as very mature, and I see an opportunity for a lot of new acquaintances who will be very struck by your wisdom. And there is most definitely an opportunity for rebirth at this time. So do everything in your power to regenerate your life. Make those changes that you've been thinking about, and branch off into a new phase of your identity. Moon in Gemini. You love to communicate, and you have a need for this emotional information to be receiving from others, to be in situations where you are the one who is informed, and you can be an intense communicator. And what I'm seeing for you now is many new opportunities over the next 6-month period, from August 2020 to January 2021, that are opening up new emotional avenues for you. A whole lot of new things are on the table. And what I would like to suggest is that you take good care of your health, because any strain you might be experiencing now could be due to a blind spot. So once you uncover that little blind spot, something that you may have been shoving under the carpet, all will be revealed, and your emotional vitality as well as your physical vitality will take a leap for the better. And Moon in Gemini, be open to different kinds of projects. Things can flow in if you switch your mindset up a bit and you continue to remain very flexible and interested in everything that's going on around you. Moon in Cancer. Your greatest emotional need is for emotional security. And when you feel safe and secure at home, this enables you to go out into the world and do everything you need to do. And following on from that, when things are challenging at home on the emotional front, it seems as if every area of your life suffers. So what the stars are offering you at this time is an opportunity to practice resilience and emotional maturity, because what I'm seeing is that there are certain restrictions in your life at the moment, as well as obligations and conditions that you cannot change. So you need to accept them. And through this acceptance comes an enormous opportunity for growth. And this is going to stand you in very good stead for next year. So you're working on emotional resilience and growing in wisdom and growing in maturity. And when we go through phases like this, we also have enormous internal rewards because we seem to overcome a hurdle which we may have been wishing to cross for a while. And it is only through these certain restricting conditions that we can grow in substance and grow in our real emotional depth. So my heart is with you, Cancer, and you're doing wonderfully. Moon in Leo, your deepest emotional need is to be loved and respected for all that you do. And you also love a touch of drama, so being center stage is not unusual for you. And the emotional opportunity you are being presented with for the next 6 months is to maybe step a little bit to the left of center stage and allow other people into your life who can take the lead and show you something new. With a fixed Leo moon, one tends to get into grooves of emotional responses and reactions and very firm habits in the way one works. And you're being shown that you can be open. A lot of new ideas are going to be flooding in. Allow people to show you new things. And you're going to be amazed at how flexible you begin to feel. It's kind of like there's a whole opening in the emotional self. So one other thing, Moon in Leos, is that there may be a little bit of strain on your vitality due to you overdoing it. Too much work physically or too much exercise physically. Something's a little bit out of balance there. Recognize what it is and take action accordingly. Your key word really from now until 2021 begins is flexibility. How to flex and stretch that emotional response. How to not have to be the one in charge all the time. This is really going to stand you in good stead. Moon in Virgo, your emotional need is to be correct, to be insightful, and you often experience emotional frustration if you don't master all the details of a challenging set of rules immediately. So the key word for you, Moon in Virgo, over the next 6 months is adjust. You're being asked to adjust your expectations, especially with regards to work and your ambitions. And the key that is being offered to you from the planetary energies available is follow your gut instincts over your rational, insightful self, which always wants to be correct. And if you can operate from a more instinctual mode over the next while, you're going to find that this is what is showing you the correct path forward, in particular at work. And this is also a great period to review your personal affairs. And the suggestion is that there's something in your life which can be put to rest. There's been too many balls that you've been juggling in the air, and you want to put one of them aside so that you have more time, more energy to do the things that you know you wish to do. Best of luck with this moon in Virgo. Moon in Libra. Your emotional need is so often to be loved and popular and appreciated for what you do. And qualities such as fairness are very important to you. So the next 6 months are offering you, Moon in Libra, an opportunity to work with some very contentious people, some of whom may be in your home. And this is in an effort for you to practice loving kindness and to confront a tendency which may have crept up over the last while towards either cynicism or irritability. So a harmonious environment is so important to you, and this feeds your nervous system, it feeds your emotional needs, and it looks as if there's something that is disrupting that environment. So your growth opportunity is to work with that, to meditate on selflessness, and to find some way to engage yourself in physical activities and beauty, for example, the beauty of nature or the beauty of art and music, in an effort to regain your equilibrium. Moon in Scorpio. Your reigning emotional need is to be regarded as deep, reliable, and significant. And only you can know how deep your emotions run. Of all the 12 moon signs, the moon in Scorpio most probably has the deepest emotional makeup. And just like your moon in Virgo friends, you are being given the opportunity at this time to make an adjustment at work, especially in the way that you think about work, the way you prepare for work, and the way you frame all the things you do in terms of how much effort you give them. So what's being asked of you is to stop trying to control things. Let go. Just relax. Let your instincts guide you. And this is going to take you to a new level at work. Instead of continually analyzing and trying to control every single aspect of your working life. On the other hand, Moon in Scorpio, it looks like a very good time for you financially, and real estate is favored, taxes look good, and any kind of savings that you can institute from August 2020 to January 2021 will stand you in good stead for next year. And one other thing, just to say, it's a very resourceful time in many areas of your life. So you have a growth opportunity to open up, and the more you can let go of control, the more influences will come into your life at this time and bring a positive energy with them. Moon in Sagittarius, your greatest emotional need seems to be to have your opinions respected and establish your personal importance in any given situation. So when you are listened to and heard, this makes you feel really good inside. And the emotional growth opportunity you're being presented with from August 2020 until January of next year is the ability to cultivate patience, because there are going to be a few people in your close circle who most likely are unable to listen as you would wish. And this cultivation of patience is also linked to tolerance. There's the suggestion that a little bit of idealism has to be set aside in an effort to respect that there are so many different opinions in the world, and that the way you see things may not be the only way. So together with that cultivation of patience, dear Moon in Sagittarius, there's a wonderful energy for creativity. And the suggestion here is that as you express yourself creatively, this is where your emotional fulfillment can come in. So find an outlet, and may you work well over the next 6 months. Moon in Capricorn, your deep emotional need is to administrate progress, make things happen, get the job done. This gives you an enormous amount of emotional satisfaction, and it can be very challenging for you to have nothing to do. So the growth opportunity that's being provided for you now from August 2020 until January 2021 is you're going to have a lot of opportunities to get things done, but there's going to be a stop-go energy that seems to be hovering around. And the challenge for you will be how you work with this energy. You may experience a tendency, which is very contrary to your nature, to be impulsive, wanting to push a project forward, whether it's in the home or at work, and simply wanting to get the job done because there is so much energy to bring a task to completion. However, the suggestion from the planets is that impulsiveness should be curbed at this time. The recommendation is to sit with things, stay with them. If it's a heavy emotion, if it's a frustration, if it's something at work or at home which you want to move forward and it seems like it's always one step forward and two steps backward, sit with this. Don't try to force the energy. There will be plenty of time, and you will feel it intuitively when things suddenly start to flow again, and it's no longer a battle to get your projects done and your wishes executed. So the growth opportunity is expect delays, be patient with them, and curb any impulsiveness to push forward too abruptly. Moon in Aquarius, Your emotional need is to be socially significant, and nothing gives you greater satisfaction than extending your emotional energy outward for the good of society. Now, since around mid-2019, you've had a tremendous amount of energy coming in to break up emotional stagnation and to free you up to experience a far deeper emotional response to the opportunities that life is presenting you with. And this is enabling you to stretch and grow on a level that you had never even imagined. Now, the interesting thing is that the growth opportunity for the next 6 months continues this feeling that began in June, just a month ago, June 2020, which was an emotional breakthrough on how to extend your reach further and fulfill your needs so that you are operating on a wider scale than before. And this is preparation for next year when your ambitions are really going to soar. I see a lot of work next year and a cementing of this ability to extend your outreach to realms beyond the small sphere you've been operating in. So the suggestion for the next 6 months, Moon in Aquarius, is to remain as open as possible emotionally. There are some stresses when it comes to emotional reactions, and know that you really have an opportunity at this time to express your deepest emotional needs and not to be constrained by the past. So Pisces, your deepest need is to work with intangibles, and there's a sense of wishing to alleviate the suffering of others, or wishing to create on an artistic, aesthetic level something beautiful. And both of these goals come from this real need to work with the ideal. Now, Moon in Pisces from August 2020 to January 2021, you're being given the opportunity to, first of all, invite something that is very deeply hidden within your subconscious mind to come to the surface. It's waiting to be born, and it's been brewing for a while. So the suggestion is to perhaps invite this in every evening before you go to bed, and you will be dreaming it into being. The second suggestion is to avoid any kind of extravagance or a feast or famine mentality, because those are two sides of the same coin. So remain in the center, and in everything that you do, establish a routine, because this is the only thing that could prevent you from achieving great goals over the next 6 months. You really have a lot of easy flow energy coming from 3 of the major planets, which will enable you to get a tremendous amount done. Your secret is routine, sticking to it and staying in the middle. Avoid extremes, especially when it comes to overdoing something or underdoing it. There is a gentle path, and if you're on that gentle middle path, it will enable you to manifest your deepest emotional need, which is this bringing these intangible ideas out into the stream of humanity. So that's enough in-depth astrology for one evening. I see that the sun has set while I've been filming. It's taken that long. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.